Greetings, warlords. Welcome to Saga Thursday, the show all about the skirmish miniatures game from Studio Tomahawk. I'm your host, Rodge, joined once again by Monty. How's it going, Monty?
Excellent, Rodge. How about yourself?
Oh, doing good. We are coming into Halloween here as we record tomorrow. We're on the All Hallows Eve, you could say.
Yes, we are.
And Thanksgiving's coming up. Both of us have big events. You got the bolt action going on. I'm heading down for the Kansas City Ironman.
Oh, yes. Nice.
So as this episode comes out, I'll probably be driving down for most folks. So head down solo, but got to see a lot of buds along the way. So really looking forward to it.
Nice.
Monty, what's the topic for the day?
Well, we've got a couple topics, but I think the first thing was we had a little painting contest.
That's right. We have a painting contest. The kind of subject topic that we're going to chat about is when to close ranks, and I don't think we have anybody better at closing ranks than the man sitting across from me right here.
Yep. I'm guilty.
Oh, yeah. So that's the main one. So these shows with Monty, we jump around. We hit a few different topics. And so we're just going to kind of jump right into it. Monty, any Saga news that you're aware of?
The Polish Grand Melee concluded. Looked magnificent.
Yeah, so a week or two, we had a video about it with Jan, so that was awesome. Having it in a freaking museum, that's cool. So that one concluded. The French Grand Melee concluded since then. The UK Grand Melee.
Yep.
So going forward, there must be the German one. It must not have happened yet. I would have seen it. And World Cup.
Yeah, in November, so coming up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that will be concluded before next episode, so we'll be able to talk about that one. But if you're not in Europe, what are you going to do? You're going to go to Fimbulwinter, February 17th, 18th, Crusader Kings. I chatted a little bit about this last time. We're just going to kind of dig into one aspect of it real quick before we get to the main topics, but that is the team portion. And then let me blow this up here.
Yep, I got mine open.
So this will be fun. So it's an individuals event. You sign up as an individual. Depending on your faction, you're being lumped in with people of your faith, I guess. And so you'll be on a team. Hopefully at least 3. There could be more. I may make an attempt to try to keep them even. There's a couple factions here that can jump between. If you look up the Cumans in Wikipedia there, they could be pagan, Muslim, or, there was some Bulgarian Cumans by the end there following Orthodox religion. So based off your team, this doesn't really affect the singles event at all. So you could be fighting against somebody on your team, and historically, I think that's happened, Monty, a few times. People of the same faith going at it. So the way it's going to work is the median score. So if there's 3 players, the player who came in the middle, the second player. If you have 10 players, it's going to be the average of the 5th and the 6th player. So it's probably better to be on a smaller team, I feel like, whenever I do that kind of scoring. You can just have a couple outliers to shoot to the top versus, you're the biggest team. Yeah, the law of averages is going to drag you down.
Yep.
But, Monty, looking at these, and this is just for fun.
Just for fun.
I don't think anybody should try to get on one of these two, or pick their faction based off team. But based off these factions, let's talk about which team you think has the best odds of coming out on top.
Oh yeah, I'm raring to go on this one. I would pick the pagan category.
Pagan, okay.
Yes.
we got some good stuff in there.
Yes, we do.
The pagan peoples. There's a little bit of a shooting restriction, but yeah, I've personally demonstrated that can be overcome. Lithuanians, so that's the javelin Hearthguard of the Rus princes.
Yep.
No crossbows with that one. Mongols, so I'll probably rate that one a little lower. Mongols, how do you rate the Mongols, Monty? Are they
So
fresh?
Man, I wish I had more time to play more Saga, but the Mongols have one ability which, having been played on me when I was starting to run away with a game against the Mongols, I was playing the Baltic Crusaders, Mounted Knights, and I was kind of having a very good run. And then Terry just completely changed the pace of the game by playing the ability where all of a sudden all the composite bow are javelin armed warriors. And he just simply just launched all of his mounted warriors with javelins into me. And suddenly I was fighting a very Welsh-like faction, and they were smashing me because I'm mounted knights. I can't close ranks, and he's with his +1 from a javelin hitting on the 4 up. So I really like the Mongols. I would like to give them a go, and I think there's some potential there.
Okay. Well, and you raise a good point. So this is purely Age of Crusades.
Right.
With the Normans in there, but they play by the same rules basically. So a lot of mounted, big levy shooter, a lot of mounted Hearthguard, mounted troops. So, the Mongols in that environment could play very differently than, trying to go against the foot sloggers from Vikings or invasions. We got the Cumans using the Hunts board. Very
Always
powerful.
good.
But the Cumans are a wild card, so they could be slotted away from this one. And I got a feeling that Orthodox is going to be a little low, so the Cumans might get slotted in there if that's where they're needed. And then Pagan Raiders, so I played a couple games with those. I would rate those as probably the lowest incarnation of the Saxon board, but I think it's pretty fun faction, and it does play kind of differently to the other Germanic peoples and the Saxons. Just with lower armor all around for the most part. It's tougher to trigger. So, yeah, I would rate that one fairly highly. I'm going to go Western Latin for my top dog here.
As your top. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Levantine Crusaders, Militus Christi,
Always solid.
Spanish. So I think each one of those, I think Normans can play. I think Spanish, if you know what you're doing, you can you can party.
Yes.
The Militus Christi we've seen.
Yep.
People underestimate them, and then we know Levantine Crusaders are a pain in the neck to deal with, even without the fanatical pilgrims. For your bottom pick here, Monty, who do you think?
It pains me to say this, dude. I'm going to feel like a little bit of a traitor. Eastern Latin. Yeah, I know. Eastern Latin.
Okay.
So here's my issue. Just, and again, all for fun, right? The Ordenstan and Polish are admittedly challenging boards to try to really squeeze the most out of. The Baltic Crusaders are good, but when you're leaning into Hearthguard heavy builds, you can have some issues, some bad rolls of the dice. Your 4-pack of knights or 5-pack charges the levy, and somehow the levy kill more of you than you kill them. That just happens all the time. So poor Eastern Latins, I would pick that as my lower one.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's a good pick. So the Hungarians there using the Norman board, but with composite bows, so a little trickier to use. I'd have to go back to the Norman board. I don't think there's any tricks unlocked necessarily by the composite bows. Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with you. I think the lowest numbers will be Muslim and Orthodox, but I think if a couple good players choose them, like I said, the Byzantines are good.
Yes.
We could put the Cumans in there, are good. Both of those are good. The other ones are fine. Get good players. The Muslim one, that one's a little bit more of a wild card. I love the Mutatawiya, but
Yes.
people say they can't go the distance, Monty.
They do.
They do go the distance.
Which makes me tempted to jump in there. I'm so torn here, dude. I actually have 2 of these camps primed and ready to go. And this evening, as I was looking, I started looking more closely at Pagan Raiders because I didn't realize the mercs that you take get the loyal benefit, which means they can use the board.
So they're mercenaries, but they're loyal, so they can use the board. They have a great ability as Pagan Raiders, but otherwise, those are hands down the worst mercenaries in the game. So not too much of a concern. Yeah, so I'm going to agree with you on this one. I think the Muslim and Orthodox will have a couple strong players to rise them up, or I think the Eastern Latin will be bogged down by the mediocrity there. So anyways, we're just having fun here. Completely discounting any player agency, and of course I think the scenarios can kind of change a lot of this, so these kind of more powerful factions might not be so powerful the way that the scenarios work out. But all right, well, let's move on to our main topic, which is, could be short, could be sweet. We hope so, but we end up talking at length about things sometimes. So, Monty, when should you close ranks? We'll just throw that question right out there.
So, I mean, the way I play it, I'm a little worried you're going to break out the math on me, and I might be a little embarrassed. I play by the feel too much, right? By gut. But if I can close ranks, I generally am going to close ranks. That's like a pretty easy decision.
Okay.
No, I mean, we've played a little bit. I would think you'd seen that, especially if someone's coming in with a javelin. You have to close ranks. Like if someone's going to get a buff, that's pretty much a guarantee. So let's just deny them that.
Yeah, we dove too deep. Let's go back into the shallows here. I've got 8 warriors, no special equipment.
Yep.
Charging your 8 warriors.
Yep.
No special equipment, so you can close ranks. Nobody's using any Saga abilities.
Oh, raw Saga.
Yeah. So this is always difficult because we can't establish the context, but just a standard fight. Would you close ranks? Just like everything's even. There's no abilities. There's no fatigue to use.
Right.
What do you think is going to work out best for you in the long run?
With no buffs, which honestly, why are you charging if you don't have a buff? It's just a roll-off.
Go raw, baby. The Saxons are coming in, Monty.
Right, you probably don't need to close ranks in that instance because it's just a roll-off. You each kill some of each other. I feel like I'm missing something, or I've been set up. But go ahead.
No,
What is the answer?
That's the thing here, Monty. Can we ever truly come up with the right answer?
Yes, that's our job. We offer solutions.
Yeah.
Saga solutions.
So, I think your tendency is to close ranks. I think historically, my tendency has been to not close ranks. So let's talk about what happens when you close ranks. You go, you have to have no special equipment. I can't really think of an instance, cavalry, archers, or anything like that. So you get to say you're going to close ranks. You ditch half of your attack dice.
Yep.
So if you have 8 attacks, you go to 4. And then you block on 4s, 5s, and 6s instead of just 5s and 6s. That's only one.
1 pip?
It's only 1 pip. What's the deal?
16.8% shift. Yeah. So there's a couple things, and it right away starts breaking the kind of raw Saga. When I play Saga, my buddies load up the attack. So I'm trying to dampen someone who's coming with generally, just throw it out there. It's not hard to get 3 or 4 dice if you're coming on an attack. There are other buffs you can add, but my idea is to survive the blow. They're in my face. Even if they've won, I've withdrawn, but I try to keep units next to each other and supporting each other. So I'm going to take my poke at you, with you being fatigued up, and hopefully I held on to my Saga die coming out of that combat.
So, yeah, I think you just outlined one of the reasons to close ranks is to survive in a couple different ways. One is to maintain your warriors, or there's some levy that can close ranks over that 4 and 6 threshold, so you can generate a saga die on the next turn. And then the other one is so the unit just lives. If that one's blown through, you're trying to keep them alive for the just keep them just keep them alive so they don't explode. When a unit is destroyed, it's an extra victory point swing, no matter which way you're calculating it, really. And then you have the fatigue bomb. So trying to stay alive is a good reason. And then there's a few factions that rely on numbers specifically. So Anglo-Saxons, the Franks, I was doing this a lot, where you just need to maintain your numbers because of your saga abilities key off of that. So everything being even, just closing ranks works out maybe a little better or okay because you're just maintaining your numbers and waiting for the counterattack. So against javelins, like you said, we already mentioned it. So they come in with a +1 unless you close ranks. But they're armor 3, so you kind of, or they're one less armor than they should be because of the javelin. So are you just playing into the javelin's hands, Monty?
Maybe.
By limiting your attacks?
Maybe.
Because their weakness is the low armor, so you're closing. I'm just razzing it here. So what's a situation where you're up against javelins and you wouldn't close ranks? You would just eat the +1.
Right. This gets into the very unscientific field. There will be times where my opponent is trying to do something. I see what he's trying to do, and what's coming in is important enough that I really want to hurt it. Maybe even get a little lucky on my rolls. So for example, if someone not late game but early game is punching with a warlord, I have to really think, like, could I throw a fistful of 5s and 6s? And if he's a little exposed, maybe I can beat him up and then he'll be that much easier. I just need to get one hit through and drop him in my turn. So there are those little edge cases where, like, it's not auto. I do tend to close ranks. I do try to lean into survivability. And certainly, like, if you have a warband like the Picts, you want to close ranks because there's the ability that lets them save on 3-ups after you close ranks. So so there are situations where someone's coming in. Maybe it's an edge case where someone has double charged, which is generally a bad idea. And Hearthguard comes in with fatigue. You're like, this is just too juicy. Like, I want to get these guys out of here. I'm going to spend his fatigue. I'm going to drop into a 4. You quickly do, like, basic math, even a liberal arts student could do. And you're like, yeah, I'll take the risk here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sometimes I hear you. And sometimes you got to be, you do have to switch it, I think, and say, you know what, I'm going down anyways, and this is my best chance to take down a couple of Hearthguard or something with me.
Yep.
You spent all my fatigue to take me down, but I'm still hitting you on 5s, or, I'll take your fatigue down. So, I'm going to die anyways. I'm just going to keep my attacks. And now that's tricky, because the fatigue and the abilities get played after you decide to close ranks. So you kind of got to think things through in advance. But you kind of touched on 2 other situations where I think closing ranks makes sense. So the first one is when you have saga abilities that give you defense dice. So every defense dice blocking on a 4, if you get 1 extra, there's some math in there. If you get 3 defense dice, you take 3 hits, you're rolling 6, saving on 4. Statistically, you should block them all. So any defensive dice gets souped up when you're closing ranks, and there's nothing more demoralizing than going after somebody who's closed ranks and somehow gets 2, 4, 6 defense dice. So yeah, that's an obvious one. And then the other one I think is, like you said, the warlords, anything with resilience, where you're just with all your attacks, you're just probably not going to kill it. You know, if it's coming in fresh. So this happens in Age of Magic more frequently because you have creatures with resilience, monsters with resilience too, more heroes running around. Everything has resilience, you know, going in, it seems like at times. And so you just can't, you're not going to kill it. So you just need to hold out, wear it down with fatigues, and then just have as many guys left for the counterattack. So if a warlord's coming in, even resilience 1, hitting on 5 inside, you got to have quite a few attack dice. But it's something you do have to think about because like you said, if you can just get through those 1 or 2 hits, it makes a difference whether he ends that fight with 1 fatigue because he closed ranked and is held down and didn't do anything versus he ends with 3 fatigues. He's exhausted because he did just put a couple random hits on him. Yep. So I think it needs to, you still got to think about it. So we're just trying to provide just a few more thinking points there because I know, Monty, there's people, they just don't close ranks. You know, I'm sure you've run into those people at tournaments.
It's true.
Yeah, I don't do that. You know, they'll just say. So I think that's to their detriment in the long run. It makes things easier, but there's definitely times you should. So does the pip from 5+ to 4+, does that really make a difference, Monty?
I mean, gosh, I know statistically, what is it? A 16.8, 16.9% shift. So that seems very small. But the truth is, how many times when you're saving on a 4-ups have you like shaken those dice, throw them, and then your buddy just his shoulders sag because, you know, it's just easier to roll 4-ups than 5-ups.
Yes. So absolutely, Monty. So it does make a difference when you're rolling those big piles because we could talk about the odds and stuff, but basically it go from probably not going to make a save to a coin toss 50-50. So you can, you know, you're just giving luck a chance to come down and kiss you right on the nose because each one of those is a coin toss is 50-50. So you know, you can make like 9 out of 10.
Yes.
Say,
yes,
you know, anything can happen on that 4+. The 4+s are so streaky, and I just hate having to roll 4+s to hit because you can hit just 1 out of 10. You know, you go on the flip side. So you're just giving yourself a chance to let Lady Luck come down and bless you. So, yeah, and I wouldn't let the results dissuade you, though. So sometimes you're going to close ranks. It's the right call.
Yep.
And you just rolled a bunch of 1s and 2s.
Yep.
And a
100%.
5 and a 6. There's not a 4 to be seen. And you go, well, that's great. You know, I guess I shouldn't have closed ranks. But I wouldn't think about it that way. I still think you made the right call. Or just trust that you made the right call.
Yeah.
Is that called resulting? Is that when you try to judge your success based off a die roll?
I mean, that is true. There's a lot of psychology involved in here. And
insanity,
so being a human, I'm somewhat, my analysis can often be flawed. But I like to, without like having the proper training in this, I like to refer to it as like the law of large numbers, that if I keep doing this thing over and over again, that the weird, janky outliers kind of get flattened out. So like you said, at a critical, oh my gosh, it still bothers me a little bit. Fimbulwinter last year, saving on 3-ups, and I rolled 7 dice and I saved none. And the whole unit died and fatigue bombed my cluster. And he made a second charge, and I closed ranks again, this time saving on 4-ups. And I think I had 6 hits, and I blocked like none of them again. And I was like, you know, so in the moment you're like, holy beep. But that happens.
Yeah.
And for all those times that happen, I need to remember that part of the reason some of my buddies swear my blue dice are like, a curse, cursed for them or blessed by the devil is because they remember the flip side. They remember how many times I get a hard punch and I, save on 4-ups and I roll out of all of them or most of them. And that's the reverse side. Like you just gotta trust the math. Not easy to say.
Yes. So, you can make 9 out of 10. You can make 1 out of 10. But you still made, you look back, you still made the right call. And,
Yeah.
the dice are going to do what they're going to do. So I would say closing ranks is pretty good. Having the option, pretty powerful. Does that make up for being just a chumpy foot slogger in a world of cavalry and crossbows?
It actually does. I mean, on one hand, when you're running the all mounted, there's no decision point. Like you're like, we just skip past this part. It's not like I have to even think. But when I'm running my foot sloggers, and the way that I run them, it is nice to have that option.
Yeah. And so just being able to, especially if they catch you out or something, we didn't talk about it, but having a warlord on foot, being able to close ranks is pretty huge. It's very
huge,
difficult to assassinate a warlord who can close ranks versus a warlord mounted or something, and then some javelin cavalry come roll in, so you can't close ranks. So it's like they're getting +1s, and you're only blocking on 5s, and all of a sudden those 8 attacks plus an auto hit or whatever, and you're like, you could go down in one fell swoop.
Yes.
With the closing ranks warlord, hard to jump in, hard to get those attacks through, and high armor, closing ranks. It's good. It's the best.
Yes, it is.
All right. Any last thoughts on closing ranks here, Monty?
I mean, I think that covers it. I think if I could just add this is kind of obvious, but some war bands you don't have choices, and that's okay. That's less, you have to get stressed, less you have to paint. There are war bands where the warriors can come in different flavors, and in a event or even in a friendly game, it's pretty awesome to like have the choice. Like, do you want to be the guys who can close ranks, or do you want your warriors to like if you're playing the Rus, do you want heavy weapons? Like, you're not going to have a question about closing ranks, but it's nice. It's nice to have options, and some of the war bands that let you take your warriors in multiple flavors that's an extra bit of awesome.
Definitely. Yep. Just having another tool for the job ready to go.
Yep.
I would, if you're a wild man, go into your next game, just close ranks. Every combat you can, and just go the opposite way. If you always never close ranks, just close ranks every time and just see what happens, and you might be pleasantly or disastrously surprised with the results. But it's definitely worth it. Give it a shot. Don't leave that tool in the chest, Monty. Keep it out on the table. All right, so let's move on to the paint contest.
Yes.
Monty here. So there was some confusion last time, or maybe I said 4 instead of 3 or something at different parts there. Apologies, but the official requirement was 3 objective markers. And let's jump over to the window here. I'm over in the Discord.
Yep.
Looking
Got
at
it.
Theoden's beautiful face. So it begins.
Yes.
So let's take a look at what everybody came up, because what I saw was quite tremendous. More than I was expecting.
Agree. 100%.
For sure here. But let's see who the first person to actually finish is. Mr. Teasdale, Martin Teasdale. So
Yep.
Martin's a a patron, I think currently, maybe used to be, but I know that he had the early scoop and was able to assemble and build these in advance because the patrons know all about that. So we've got 3 objective markers here. I like that helmet just sitting there. Nice colors. Chickens. Monty, how would you rate these bad boys?
Love the chickens. I love, yeah, this is kit bashed, bright colors. This is stuff worth fighting over, especially those keggers. People would love to tap those. So
That's cool. Yeah, I love that helmet just sitting there. And I don't know. I just like people holding helmets and not wearing them. And seeing a helmet there, I also approve of that. So
just waiting.
I don't know. I just like that helmet sitting there. So nice work, Martin.
Yeah, really nice.
Coming down, Sagas of History here. So he's going
go.
for the. So I kind of allowed 2 different things here. We could do the baggage carts kind of objectives or the regular ones. So that I had to look, and the baggage carts can actually be quite massive. They can be 100 by 50. So this, basically a chariot base.
Yep.
So he's got 1 of each here. Looks like he's mixing some ages here. I see a skeleton.
Yep.
That armor is cool.
Yeah, that is. I like it.
Like that. The road is built directly into the base, Monty, that he's cruising on there.
It's a muddy mess, but he's got to get his supplies through.
Yeah, looks good. I'm liking the animals here. I don't know. Next contest might just be animals. Just paint me animals because I just like painted miniature animals so much. But these look good.
Very nice.
Can't complain. Just seeing if you mentioned where they were. The gluing of the reins to the hand was a bit of a challenge. Monty.
Yeah, that's top shelf, like taking that extra step. A step I generally almost never do. It is an extra step. I was
ask. You ever put the bowstrings on?
I just don't. No. You could accuse me of being just a little bit lazy or efficient.
I would
Either
never.
term.
Monty, I would never. All right. Hrothgar, we've got 2 sets of objectives here.
Yeah.
4-pack, so apologize again if I said 4, because now I have to make a scenario that uses 4 objective markers, Monty, so people can use the 4th ones here. We got another helmet laying on the ground. I approve.
Yep.
Nice rune stones here.
Yeah, very nice. Alehorn. I like that. So, I mean, I've done rune stones too, but I really like that he's mixed paint and color in, because I think, being no expert in this, I think I'd heard that rune stones were painted, and that the version we're looking at is like, 800 years later. So there is no paint left. So that's a nice little touch.
That's a good point. Yeah. When you get down to it, I think like everything historical was painted.
Yes, at one time.
We just gotta make it bland. But these sticks here, Steppe Tribe standards.
Yeah.
These look good.
Yep. I would be fearful if I saw these. I think I would turn and run.
Oh, yeah.
It's never going to run well when you run into the people of the steppes if you yourself are not a steppe person.
If you're just doing a stick, going extra on the basing is a wise idea. And these ones look good.
Yep. I think those are skulls in there too, so just a little warning. Like at the top, isn't that?
Yeah, maybe.
I think it is. I think so. What's thrown it is the rope. The rope goes through like the little eye sockets, I think. Anyway, yeah, they look good.
All right. Coming down. Average Widukind Respecter, JP.
He's always changing that moniker. Keeps us guessing.
JP, you got to get your Patreon account linked up with your Discord account so you can get the blue and purple, the different colors there are Patreon indicator. Missing out, man. All right. So Yeah, I thought this was grain or something, but then you pointed out that these are big, juicy piles of
I
gold.
think so. Who doesn't love that?
And a little baby here. Is this be honest, is this going on the Christmas tree?
It
Double
might
duty.
be. I think it might be.
Yeah, this looks
Very
cool.
cute. Yeah.
These
yeah,
would be the
I like it.
heaviest bags in the entire world. If they were filled with that much gold, dude.
Well, that's why the wagon is tipped over. You could see clearly, even using a strong man, it couldn't bear up.
But looking good. Baby's looking
Yes.
good.
Right.
I've painted up a little baby model for personal purposes as well. And this gal here, I'm giving her top human within the objectives here.
Yeah, I love that blue. That's beautiful.
Alrighty. All right, fool in a hat. Chris,
There it is.
Halloween theme, Monty.
Oh, yes, perfect. Yes, indeed.
Oh, these look good.
Yep.
Now, they're missing a little something here. If that RIP had a MONTY underneath it,
Ooh.
that would have been instant win. Instant win in my book.
I don't know if I would like it. Let's not speed this along.
Yeah, these
Yeah,
look
these
good.
are good. These are good.
These kind of look like MDF or something, don't
Yeah,
they?
yeah, I think so. I think so. And I mean, I'm guessing here. Let's see. Okay. I'm assuming these are Age of Magic, because I'm not sure if people will run across a battlefield to try to grab gravestones. It's kind of a bleak reminder of where you're going, especially
You never
in
know.
combat, right?
Don't knock it till you rock it, buddy.
Right? Okay.
But yeah, these look good. I like the kind of different stone colors used. On the left one there, you didn't just copy the color of gray for the top and the bottom, but he used that top gray to kind of highlight the bottom one, so it ties it together really well with the two gray tones on all three of them. So I think a fool in a hat did a good job of squeezing out the grayness out of these.
Very nice.
All right, Knick Knack Naj. That name rings a bell. I know I've said that for a paint contest before. What are we looking at here, Monty?
Well, we got a little bit of everything. We got a map.
Yeah,
That's nice.
that's the best.
Yeah. I like it. That's some strategy. On one side, they're just yelling charge. This guy's actually planning and thinking.
Yeah, that one's cool. It went the extra mile. And then the shield right next to it is awesome as well, with that double-headed serpent there. Yeah, great idea. I haven't seen that before, but are these Robert E. Lee's plans here, Monty?
It could be. If only the North could have got a hold of them.
Oh, boy. Oh, they did.
They did.
Monty.
That's right. Edom. I had to remember that.
All right. Well done. Moving on. So these are cool to see. So this is like another style of objective that actually I would like to see more of, So you can do like objective markers, So these are like 3D objective markers almost. They're not trying to represent anything, but it's still cool, you'd be happy to play a game with these on the table. And he did a couple other ones as well. I don't know what's going on with this thing. This lion creature, man. It's freaking me out. Does he say what that is? Here's my entry.
He did somewhere.
The
It's
lion
a
is the mascot of the Murphy's Heroes Club.
Yeah, poor
Got a
lion.
plastered leg, a crutch, and a bent sword. Oh, he's taking some damage here.
Not good,
But
it's beautiful.
yeah, Saga Benelux Grand Melee 2023, Grand Melee 2022. So Stronghold terrain. So I know, so you must just be able to kind of buy these generic trophies. Kind of looks like.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Quite nice.
Now, is Robin saying that are these championship objectives here or victory? First place, 3 first place trophies He's doubling his objectives.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just hypothesizing here, Monty.
Right. Yeah. Nice. Okay.
Yeah, I like that. I think that's a good idea. I'd like to see more of it. Now, Glotkin has really taken it up a notch.
Yeah.
I think all three of these are awesome. Now,
this.
We recognize Monty. Where does that sword come from? Impromptu quiz.
Is that Age of Arthur, Sword in the Stone?
No, that is a Teutonic Knight, two-handed sword.
I see it now.
Mm-hmm. I just remember the mold lines on the hilt. Yeah. That's what triggered me.
And it's huge.
Yes. So it's a massive one. So looks really great in the stone there. I'd be curious if that's like a little resin piece or a little piece of foam or something sculpted. I love the donkey or the mule.
Yep.
Do you think this is a donkey or a mule? Do you know?
I'm going to say
I don't know the difference.
I just picked it. I picked
and how they look.
It's a coin flip. But he looks awesome.
Donkey, so.
He's pretty loaded up there.
Yeah, he's shock loaded. I think this is perfect for both a mobile and a static objective.
Yeah.
So I really dig that donkey. And then the wagon too, loaded up, laying on his side. Great example of doing kind of a mobile and a static objective.
Yeah, looks good.
Sneeze. All right. Great work. Terry, Chicago Saga guy.
There he is.
These wagons are looking a little rougher compared to Glotkin's here, but they definitely do the job. And I know he's trying to keep his paint streak going. Cum Dea is Laris Latin for go with God. Nothing to do with Ronnie James Dio, Monty. That's what you're... I don't know.
Okay. Now I know what kind of music you used to listen to, or maybe you still do.
Every once in a while, Monty. Yeah, I think these look good.
Yep.
Are these... Yeah, handmade from foam bits and bobs and kits. So
okay.
This is cool. Yeah, I think in the future I'll be making a wagon for a war wagon for the Eastern Princes, and I'm just going to make it out of scratch stuff here. So I'll have to come back and look at this for ideas because these turned out good. These will get the job done.
Yeah, very nice. I like that. Looks like it's very Romano. Byzantine background here.
That's true. Yeah,
do you think he's painting Byzantines? We should investigate.
That's true. Yeah, Fimbulwinter's coming up here. He may have chose his allegiance. Right. I think these are good. Yeah. So that's another aspect that we haven't really gotten into is the specific armies. So I would say Glotkin, he's pretty generic.
Mm-hmm.
Robins are generic.
Yep.
But Terry's are nice and dialed in and would really go with a specific army. I, however, am a lazy man, so I would keep mine nice and generic. But it's good to see.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Match. Theme.
Morrow's doing 4 objectives and 2 baggage. Now, we are looking at some battle cattle here, Monty.
Wow. Yeah, that's very nice. I think this is more, I think I might recognize this. I think this is the Reconquest. They do such a gorgeous line. I think these are like other color items that you can get STL files for and print out.
So that's a good point. Yeah, him in particular, out of any of those I follow, he seems to do lots of civilian type model, kids and ladies and townsfolk and stuff. And so, yeah, that's got to be these chainmail.
Yeah,
sitting on those are probably the coolest
exactly
piece.
I don't know where you could find something like that other than the STL file that I'm remembering. Yeah, these are gorgeous.
Yeah, so they all look good, and they look good on the custom game table as well.
Oh, right.
Facing here. So these are stellar. I'm really impressed with these. The cows as well. Very well done. Daneth. So we have some Byzantine last Roman boards themed ones.
Yep. Oh yeah, yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, I didn't see the princess lady. She looks great.
Interesting. Yep, yep.
Big
Just off to the
banners.
side.
You know,
Lovely banner.
that's a great idea with the big banner right there, because you can get three. It's a little big man studio.
Yeah.
Get three of those things, put them on sticks, and they're going to look better than a lot of stuff out there. And
Agreed.
he went to town on the basing as well. This lava guy's freaking me out here. Something out of Dark Souls, Monty.
Yes, it really does look like it. These demonic forces.
And a little. You go on.
I know that pony. That pony that's loaded up is an Aventine pony.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Nice.
Nice little pony.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to get some donkey ponies or baggage camel. It's toss up between a donkey baggage and camel baggage. Or Monty, if we're going ancients, elephant baggage.
Wow. 3 of them.
Yeah, when you come in, he's only got 3 attacks, but he dishes out 2 auto hits, and he's resilience too.
Yes, that is the play. No one wants to take.
Yeah.
No one wants to take the baggage from the elephant.
I got an idea. Yeah, the next scenarios coming out here are gonna get real nasty real quick.
Oh.
Alderman Andrews here, so a plethora of well tied in stuff straddling the magical stones of Credna Dune to the little artifacts here.
Sword in the Stone. There
Another
we go
sword
again.
in the stone.
Nice.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Arthurs to be made.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, these are great. Is this little Ark of the Covenant here?
Oh yes, yes it is.
Is that what it looks like?
For a second, just before you said that, I kept looking. I'm like, wait, is that? And I do believe that's what it is.
Yeah.
So do not touch it. We all know from Indiana Jones what happens.
Yeah, I'm getting some good ideas here for Age of Magic objectives.
Very nice.
That explode on you. These are cool. Yeah, very well done.
Very nice.
Kind of the green for the portal really ties in with the green on the basing. So nice choice of colors. Great stone. Like that slab. All right. Moving on. So officially Greek is after the deadline here for Central Standard Time by 57 minutes, but we can look at his goodies here. Now, I don't condone this, Monty, here. The beautiful animals we've been singing the praises of, and here he has speared this magnificent beast.
He got too close to a Sarissa, it appears.
Yeah. It's funny how, using a horse, a dead guy, you wouldn't bat an eye out, but since it's a horse, you're like, oh.
Exactly.
So we've got the pretty well themed here for Numidia. Yep. Is that right?
Yep. Yes.
Generic fire pit. So a fire pit is also a great objective for battle around the campfire scenario. And for any time you have to put an objective in the middle of the board for some reason, I think the fire pit is the way to go. So I would always have a fire pit in your arsenal. And I used to have one, and it got taken out of my gaming box. And I saw it the other day, but I didn't grab it. So now I have to rethink about where that darn fire pit is. But I'll find it. So overall, I think pretty good selection here. Wouldn't you say, Monty?
Yeah, just honestly, I kind of was letting this one lie a little bit. It's been busy the last 3 or 4 weeks. I mean, as it always is. And when I hopped in and I started scrolling through these, my first thought was, it's impossible. Like we set up these painting contests, and then you're like, this is just lovely original creative work, followed by more lovely original creative work. So well done.
All right, Monty, what would you say your top 2 or 3 are here for you?
Right, that is really, really hard. We were just talking about Marcos's gorgeous 3D prints with some really nice paint on them.
Maros, yeah. Yeah.
Rice. Oh, there we go.
Yep. Definitely top
And
three.
right, Glotkin, especially now that I know
Yep.
that's the Baltic Crusader sword. Gosh, after that, it's just it really gets hard here because some of these start kind of like they're all like really quite gorgeous.
Yeah.
And then I would start shouting them all out rather than just picking two or three.
Yeah. There's a lot here, like Hrothgar's, JP's,
Yep.
Elderman Andrews.
Yes.
He's my other three. So my top
Yep.
three: Elderman Andrews,
Nice.
Maros, and Glotkin. But we chatted ahead of time, and we agreed that we thought that our favorite was Maros here, going the extra mile with these oxen and the way that they, if you played a game on his board with these objectives, it'd
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
super immersive and look really cool. And yeah, get the third baggage going and get an ambush going. I want to battle these cattle ASAP.
Yep.
So, Maros, congratulations.
Very
Get in touch
nice.
with me. You'll win the Saga Thirsty Thursday pint glass, which usually I have one sitting around here, but I do not today. But have no fear, friends. If you did not win, let's take a look. Can you see the... because we're going to do a drawing. I've got to mess with my little window pane here. And so we're going to do random.org. So officially, we had 12 entries that made the cut and one that was just slightly after, so we can't include them in the drawing. So 1 through 12 here. Random.org. 1 through 12. Generate number 6. So number 6 is Knick Knack Naj. So they're going to win a 25-pound gift certificate from Gripping Beast. So they've sponsored every paint contest so far. So very cool. They are continuing to do so. So congrats to everybody there. But don't you fret, Monty. We've got a few more giveaways here.
Awesome.
Now, let me move on here. Yeah, so Gripping Beast, Monty. I don't know if you've been over there, but they're gearing up for Age of Chivalry, it would seem, with front rank miniatures. And you get 6 packs for the price of 5. And
nice.
They're not really breaking the bank in the first place, so you can easily get a nice metal army and be ready for Age of Chivalry. And thanks again for Gripping Beast, because not only are they sponsoring the paint contest, they're sponsoring the Patreon contest as well. So along with the other sponsors here, so we got Reconquer Designs. So the latest release is a Militus Christi type release. So we're looking at the horsemen here, but they have some crossbowmen and some more horsemen. It's a release of 14 or 15 guys. That's really awesome. So we'll win. Whoever I pull is gonna win these horsemen here. And if you want to get in on that, the easiest way to do that is go to Patreon, link below. The other sponsor is Medbury Miniatures. So they're still working on their Vendel era characters. So these are Viking, early Viking models. And he actually sent me a bunch of metal ones from his Kickstarter already. So I'm going to be adding some of those to the Heathen army pretty soon here. And
nice.
They're beautiful figs, metal, and I'm sure 3D prints are beautiful as well. So whoever I pull is going to win these STLs. So let's pop back over to the random.org. So this list is a little shorter. It's just the lifeguards and the warlords. So you got a pretty good chance here. Essentially 1 in 6. So we'll go to 1 through 17. 15 is Terry. So congratulations to Terry, Chicago Saga guy. Finally winning one of these. He's got to win another time if he's going to catch up to Sean. But we have one additional drawing, and that's for anyone at Hearthguard or up, and that is for a painted unit from me. I've got a few different units to give away here, but it could also be some heroes as well. And I meant to throw up a couple pictures of these things, but didn't quite do it in my scramble earlier today, Monty. So let's take a look at that list, which is a little longer here. So going from 1 to 95. And this is for anybody who's been a Hearthguard, Lifeguard, or Warlord in the last 3 months.
Nice.
95, correct? Yep. So 41 is Matt. Or there's only one Matt as a patron, so hopefully you know who you are. But congratulations to Matt, Terry, Knickknack, or was it Knickknack Nash? I think so.
Yep.
And Maros, who are our winners for this quarter. So
nice.
Let's put it.
A lot of free stuff.
Put these hands together, Monty. A lot of free stuff, yeah. So, yes, I'm excited about that Patreon stuff. So we're coming up here on another year. So there's just going to be even more prizes next year, Monty. Wow. I can't even wait to tell you what's happening, but it's still not too late to get in for this year because I still have that army to give away, Monty. And anybody Hearthguard level or up gets a chance. We're just going to add up each month that you're in, so you can still get a couple more entries by signing up before the end of the month here. And one of my painted armies is going to be at least 8 points. I want to see if I can squeeze 9 or 10 out of it, but
wow,
it'll be at least something. So, yeah, it's going to be something I have. I don't want to say what it is, but Monty,
it's going to be amazing.
You know how to pull some strings here, man. You can make it happen. Okay. A couple more things to wrap up. Head on over to the Discord, sign up. We're at 987 members, so I want to get that to 1,000. The link is below, so we shouldn't have a problem hitting that one. The other big one is the Saga Worldwide Player Map. So we need to get to 500 pins on there by this time next year. So that's the goal. So we're at 194 pins. Okay. If we don't get to 500, it's going to come down next year and will just be a static one-time resource. But if we get at least 500, I think it's worthy to maintain and keep up. And if I know where you live and you are not on here, I will find you. I'm not going to kill you, but I'll make you wish that I had killed you. Monty, I saw you're on here. You're safe.
Yes.
But there's some Midwest people. I'm going to hound you. I'm going to find you. We're going to get you on this map. So to get to the map, you go through the Discord. You put the pin down with your Discord username. So if somebody wants to play you, you can... They'll get in touch with their username. So, Monty, tell just a little example of the power of this map. So we've got a Wisconsin Wargaming Discord server, and this guy was asking about Saga, and I was like, oh, where are you at? So I assumed he would be in Wisconsin because it's a Wisconsin Wargaming server, but he's like, oh, I'm over in Washington State. And I was like, oh, So I went over to the Saga map, and I'm like, well, if you're in Seattle, Bellingham, Tacoma, or one other city, Olympia, I know a guy there. I can hook you up. Now, he was on the other side of the state or something, so it didn't work out in this instance, but isn't that cool? I was just able to, I didn't have to Google search or anything. I just went to the map, saw the pins, they were sitting there, and I could instantly, within 5 minutes, I could have hooked this guy up with 4 potential Saga players. So
it's amazing, and I know we're well short of the 500 goal. I hope we do get there. But as I'm looking at this thing already from the last time I looked, like there are some nice clusters. But really, we do need people to get in, log in, so it's useful.
Mm-hmm. We can fill it out. It looks like a lot of pins, but once you start zooming in, there's a lot of space.
There's a lot. America is very large, in case we didn't already know that.
Yes. So hopefully that story demonstrates the value of just having your pins in there, and head on over, get those in. And we got to mention, if you get on the Discord, we have the Tabletop Simulator Winter Blood for Steel online. Is it a tournament? It's a tournament, right?
Yes, it is. 5 games spread out, I think, every 2 weeks, and then the possibility of some late pairings that may even be one part of the world versus a champion in another part of the world.
Awesome, cool. Well, yeah, that's good to see. Are you going to be joining this one? You were in the last one, right?
Oh yeah, I was in the last one. I will be in this one.
All right. Yeah, I'm not. I probably won't be in it. I don't know. Something about online leagues stress me out here. I haven't ruled it out, but starting, it looks like November 13th. And how does it work? You got like 2 weeks to get your game in?
Yes. Never had a problem with my games. Always able to kind of match out times that work. Mm-hmm. And I think they break it out in one league is U.S. centric. They might move Australia over with us, and then kind of an EU league.
Oh, cool.
So that it makes it easier for people to match up their playing times.
That sounds good. Is this age of melee, everything?
All of them, everything.
We're going, everything's in, baby. Awesome. Well, that's glad to see. I know that the league seemed to go well previously, so this online tournament I think is a great idea and good way for the scattered pins on the map to get together.
Yep.
And join in for some fun. All right, moving on. That's going to be it for this one. I will say the Patreon only video for last month was my experience at the Feast for Ravens event. Unfortunately, I did not give Monty. I didn't really give you a chance to talk about it. Kind of.
It's all good.
Got missed by everything. Give me your 1 minute hot take on you took the picks?
I did take the picks. The picks are good. The challenge is part of the picks play is they shoot to degrade the enemy and do their little pick tricks. Had 2 very solid wins, faced the mounted Welsh, all mounted Welsh, on a hill, fighting on a hill, away from terrain that they love so much. Yeah. And then just kind of overwhelmed by 4 turns of the horseman. I can throw 2 pretty good punches a turn, and his old warband would activate, and then he'd sneak in some wheelbase and a die or 2, and then react in my turn. I just kind of got buried in the my activations and my kills versus his. So it was still a blast around the room as I went around, all smiling faces. Just awesome that we had people travel from out of state to come to our event. Mm-hmm. And Roger, if I could just say it, my favorite thing was I did manage to score best painted.
There you go.
And that made me exceedingly happy.
Yeah, very, very well done. Lovely fours. I had a blast in the Patreon video. You can hear all about it. I was playing the Franks. I did sneak it out in the end there with the victory. So I talk about my games, talk about my units that I chose, and then kind of go through the battle board in a kind of a quicker faction review style. So if you want to learn more about the Franks, head on over to Patreon, get in on that. Working on a Franks review. It's probably going to be a while before the faction review comes out, so that might be your best bet if you're desperate for some Franks knowledge. But after this, I do have quite a few videos in the can, but there's conditional things I'm trying to finish, so I don't know for sure what videos will be coming up next. But I'm heading down to Kansas City. Hopefully I can record something so it would be timely to have that released. quickly, but I don't have it yet, so I'm not going to say that I will. And then I have something else. I'm working on some battle reports with my old buddy Zach, but that hasn't happened yet either. So we'll have videos for sure out on the 9th and the 16th, but I don't know what they're going to be yet. But yeah, I'm loving Saga, and we're gonna keep doing this. Monty, any last words here?
I think we covered it all. So
Yeah, I think we're good. I do gotta thank the patron homies one last time: Terry, Patrick, Sean, Mitchell, Scott, Frank, and the rest of the Saga Thursday patrons. So I won't be doing all these extra videos without you guys. So thank you very much. All right, Monty, that's it. We'll catch you next time. See you later, folks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Saga! If you'd like to see more Saga content, consider joining the Heathen Army over on Patreon or popping on down to the Saga Thursday Discord server. Links below. Thanks, guys.